Good morning. It's a beautiful day for a garden tour. Good morning. It's early in the morning. My husband's still asleep. It's 18 degrees Celsius here in Southern Ontario. And I haven't been on in a while to give you an update of the garden. And I thought I would also just kind of give you a life update. You've been seeing a lot of videos about interviews and things like that. And the last one we did was cooking. So I have content coming where I'm painting, I promise. But we had babies 10 days ago. So it's been difficult to get in the studio to paint. I did get in there yesterday. I was thrilled with my day, and I have some awesome content coming. But it is August already, and I don't think I did a big walkabout in the garden in July. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to give you a garden tour. The garden, I feel right now, is just in fine form. Now, I did do some trimming yesterday, and this morning there's some bags around, and you're gonna see the garden in reality, but that's okay. Come on along and let's explore the garden. We'll start here with this absolutely amazing planter. So this is the planter. This is a very big metal planter that my husband put up on great big huge cedar posts that I accidentally ordered once, that it showed up and it cost me more than I ever thought I would ever spend on a planter, but I didn't send it back. I must have accidentally hit purchase. I'm not mad about that, but look at how it's done. Now these are purple, these are salvia, annual salvia, that I am so actually very, very proud of. I planted these all from seed. I started these in March inside, and I definitely will be reordering and doing it again. And I've tucked into this some huge salvia. These are, I think, Shasta daisies. I've loaded a fern into here, and the potato vine's doing great. The little million bells, it's a fun little color tuck. Isn't it just something? I love looking out of this from my studio. Oh, and there's a painting that I'm working on. And I can't wait to get back into the studio to finish that. Oh, the door is wide open. I wonder if I left the door open all night or if it's blown in. Let's go check it out. Make sure there's no wild animals in my studio. But before we get there, I got this lovely lady at a garage sale and tucked her into the ivy on the side of the studio. The planters are doing great. This salvia is taking its time to bud because it's a little bit more shaded. So, but check out this. I think the common name is Wandering Jew. Isn't that incredible? These are plants that I kept overwintered. And I will do that again. I will take them in overwintered and brought them out. But I want to show you something. Interestingly, these are doing great in the shade here. And let me take you over to one that I put in full sun on my table. And look at the color of it. So when it's got full sun, the colors change. Oh, I just love this plant. And look at its habit. It just kind of spills out of the top. Isn't that great? All right, let's go check out the studio. I'm really thrilled with how this moss in 1 year has actually, like, I planted it at the end of May, how it's done. I have to get in here every once in a while and pull out grass and weeds. A lot of bending over, and we have to mow. Hopefully that's something my husband does today. Get some mowing done and trim up this wonderful ivy. Now I keep it in check. A lot of people say, oh my goodness, ivy, it's gonna take over. I do keep it in check. This is a once a week or once every other week deal. All right, doors open. Have I been robbed? No. But I wonder if anything came to live with me. So here's the reality of how I left the studio yesterday. Working on things. I've got a painting there. I love that. When fall starts approaching and the colors are, the temperatures are cool, I start doing some fall color. So that is a color blocked painting. Not nearly finished. And a little abstract that I started on some wood. Anyway, I digress. This is my favorite spot. Gotta go. Back to the garden. All right, so I actually transplanted a few things in this garden by my studio door. So here's my studio. Let me back up. Show you where we are. There's my studio. There's the back of my house. I had that rose right here where this trellis is, and it just wasn't getting enough sun. So I transplanted it over here, and it did not mind the transplant. I even did it when it was a little too hot. I have purchased this Let's Dance hydrangea, which will fill this area, and it's a blue flower if I can keep it fed with some aluminum sulfate. Sadly, this is my smoke bush, and half of it died. So we had to cut that out. Now that did allow for a little more sun here for the rose. And I've got a tiny baby volunteer that I noticed, a little seedling. So I think I'm going to take that seedling and I'm going to plant it in here and let it grow to balance out that. Now that'll take years, but hey. So we've slowly been, I've been transplanting and filling. I had transplanted these yews from over there. That's where they were at where the hydrangea was. I have done a terrible job trimming up this forsythia. I'm trying not to make it too formal looking, but I've done a terrible job. So I need to get in here and trim up the top of this grapevine. It tends to get really big and grow into the tree. So I have to do some trimming up in there. I find the most exhausting thing about trimming, I love to trim. It's picking it all up. It's a million deep knee bends, and sometimes that's exhausting. So these little annuals have done, they're fine, but they have not done what I thought they would do. I actually think I'd like to expand the Hanakloa, the Japanese grass, to kind of come around this hosta like that and just let that be that lime green there. But look at these incredible hydrangeas. I've got a massive bed of them and they're just doing beautifully. And the Hanakloa is coming in quite well here. Next year it should be even fuller, I imagine. My heuchera do like their spot here. So now here's some things I need to trim. I'm going to cut some of these lower hanging blooms, but I'll cut them halfway, not all the way down, and then the sticks kind of help support the actual plant. It works really, really well. This spirea needs a big trim, and I kind of am avoiding it because it's a big job. You know, you trim all that off, and then you have to pick it up. Well, it's going to be a good day for exercise. There's some deadheading to do. I had just cut all this Veronica back, and I missed this plant. So I think what I've been doing is, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the garden, and I need to just give it half a day or more. So look at this. So again, I'm going to trim up some of these lower hanging flowers, but this incredible hydrangea loves its spot here. They can take more sun than you even dreamed. Like, look at the sun this morning. Those are the same. They don't get as much sun because of the trees. They're equally as beautiful, but every inch of this is covered over here where it gets almost full sun. So under here, it's the hardy geranium and a patch of the salvia that I grew, and the Empress Wu hosta. Now that Empress Wu hosta is quite the piece. I need to go in and trim out some of the dead leaves. It really didn't like how hot the heat wave was that we had. So it's looking a little worse for wear. So I think I will trim around and expose it a little bit from that hydrangea. I've got a rogue branch leaning over the sand pit. I'm not quite sure what to do with it because I don't want to take it out because it's this entire limb. I may tie it up so that it train it to go up. The cone flowers are blooming over here. Some more of the salvia. And I had a little patch here that I planted some zinnias. And look at, they're all so cute. Coming out. And my, I don't know how successful this tomato plant is going to be because it has fallen over many times. It's doing all right, still living. But look at this patch of the salvia. It's just such a winner. And a few rogue coneflowers popping in back there. These miscanthus grass are beautiful. We had divided this one last year and put that there, so they're doing great. And underplanting with some Japanese forest grass again. Interestingly, so we'll talk about sun. See how lovely yellow it is. And then it's a lot more chartreuse when it's in the shade. So this is a plant that doesn't love full sun, but as these miscanthus grass grow, it won't get full sun. And the cosmos, they're coming in. Let me take you up here and show you this wild planter box. So I planted in here some nasturtium seeds, some dragonwind begonia starts, and it looks like I planted a sunflower. Look at the textures. Isn't that glorious? So this is a miniature sunflower. It doesn't grow 8 feet. It only grows about 3 feet. So I'm really pleased with that. And then that's the entrance to my little secret garden over there, which is doing well. And another planter. There's a few sunflowers in here. They're not getting as much sun, so they're taking their time, but the phlox has come in. So there's a lot of leaves down because we had quite a big windstorm, and we had a bit of a rainstorm. And knocked down quite a bit of leaves. Look at the moss. Look at that color. This I love this. This is just one plant in a planter, And then this is highly successful. I had planted a huge planter of succulents and a lot of it died. So then one day last year, I shoved all of the ones that were alive just in this pot to live, just so that, you know, it had a place to be until I found another thing to do with it. And they thrived. They love being crowded in here. And I think this one's so cool. It was a broken pot that I didn't throw out, and I decided to plant it with moss. Look, you can be creative in the garden, even with broken things. So I will show you down here. It's a bit of a mess. This is a space that I have to get in here, but my son-in-law is building me a set of stairs to my back door here, and I have to get in and do some weeding. Yeah, see those weeds? Those will become trees if I don't get those. And this is a rose. It's not giving me very many flowers, but I think it needs to reach higher for some extra sun. And this is where the stairs are being built. And so I just have to get in here. This was a glorious plant, but I believe it's a weed. Did really great, but it's coming out today. And there's a little set of stairs, and eventually I will decorate this, and this is where my grandkids come and they can play and be safe, but have a kind of a private area. All right, this is Joe Pieweed, which will get super tall, but I trimmed it, and then it starts branching and it doesn't get as tall, but it'll be equally as wonderful. And these stilbies look glorious. They're enjoying this cool shade back here. We'll go out to the back garden. This needs some attention as well, as does everything in a July garden. But here's another set of those miniature sunflowers. Look, they're blooming. Look at the size of this one. Isn't that fantastic? I think I will have to make sure that I can find. I just bought this package at a Home Depot or something like that. So I need to make sure that I can find more miniature. Well, I mean the flowers aren't miniature, but the plant is miniature plants. Seeds for next year, and do a few more of this. So this is the outdoor garden, and it's doing really well. I think I've told you before, we built this garden last year. We built it out. It was a great garden, but it was overgrown, and we expanded and divided. Some of the grasses have been taking their time recovering, so I imagine that next year is going to be the year for my grasses, because like those back there, those are supposed to be huge. They're supposed to be 8 feet tall and swing in the wind, and that's my whole desire for this garden. The salvia that I trimmed back, this is a perennial salvia, is doing a reflush. The second flushes are never as grand as the first one, but that's okay. And some of the spirea, you can tell which ones get more sun and which ones don't. So I need to decide whether to replace these or let them see if they'll establish themselves and get going. It has been quite the week, guys. It's been 10 days since the babies have been born. And today will be the first day that I can get out here and garden a little bit and just rake up some things, just kind of get some things done. It'll feel satisfying. But again, look at, these are supposed to be the begonias that are absolutely amazing. They have done next to nothing. I did move these are rhododendrons, and I had them kind of scattered. And then my friend Brenda, she came over and I said, well, these are going to take 30 years to get big. She goes, if they're going to take 30 years to get big, plant them close so that you can kind of enjoy them. And I thought, well, that's a really good idea. So that's what I did. But things are coming in. I just, we have to mow the lawn. We have to do some trimming. We have to do some raking and some weeding. And here's the other side. So see all the big rogue weeds. How did they get so big so fast? But it's all coming together. The zinnias are starting to grow here. The gara, that's the white floaties. Things that are just floating in the air. I need to take out these alliums and do some trimming on the trees and the bushes. But I thought, you know, let's get out here and take a look at what's going on in the garden. But the gara, oh, they're perfect this time of year. They're doing exactly what I dreamed, just kind of floating in here. This plant, however, I have no idea if I planted it or if it's a weed, but it's pretty great. I don't think it's a weed, but it's pretty great. But I need to do some trimming and just get a little bit of control back in this garden. The babies went out for their first lovely walk yesterday. Yesterday we've been having a heat wave in the garden, or in Ontario. It's been all 30 degrees, 36 degrees, feels like 40, and it's just been so hot. And yesterday was only 24, so they took the babies for a walk, for a very short walk, which was very sweet to see. So there's just some pink veronica back there. These are a sedum autumn joy. So these sedum here, they will turn red. And I have an owie because I was trimming something yesterday and I literally trimmed into my finger. Okay, let's go see the secret garden. This morning while I had my coffee, I sat upstairs on my deck and thoroughly enjoyed the breeze and the sound of the lake. It sounds like an ocean the last few days. Sometimes we can't hear it at all, but sometimes it just sounds amazing, like an ocean. Okay, so we're coming in here. You're gonna see hoses, you're gonna see debris, you're gonna see bags, but that's okay. It's an active garden. So we've got to trim this bush today. My husband's gonna get a ladder out and we're gonna trim it. It has finished blooming. When it's in bloom, it smells so glorious, like vanilla. It's incredible. So here is a goal that I have. This long planter, I would like that Japanese forest grass to just mound and fill it, and I'll show you in a minute what 3 plants can look like. And so that is my goal. I don't, will it be next year? I don't know, but they were just very little when I planted them this year, so hopefully they will do that. Here's my workstation. It's where I keep my fertilizers and different things, and the rogue donkey tail spurge that has seeded itself amongst the rocks, and the cosmos that seeded themselves from last year. I love it. I'm not going to take it out, but look at this intense. Ooh, we got a dead spot that I'm going to have to clean out today too. That'll recover. Maybe I stepped on it. I bet you I stepped on it. Again, more salvia, potato vine. Very simple display, but I think really, really quite impactful. And again, this donkey spurge seeded itself here and is loving its life. I've got to do a power wash of this indoor-outdoor carpet. Can it be any better? So this is the coneflower and the Shasta daisies kind of intermixing, and more incredible hydrangea, and my great big towering maples. They're doing great. Now they have a spot on them that they tend to get every year, and I'm not sure what to do about it. It's all around the entire city. If anybody has any ideas as to what I could do to get rid of that spot, I might call a tree company to find out. So I've limbed up over here the what are you? It's the pink flowers in the spring. I know what it is. It'll come to me. But I limbed it up to give this dwarf hydrangea a little bit more sun. You can see at the top that it doesn't have any flowers, and I think that's because of the sun. So I have to actually do a little bit more limbing up of this tree. Back in there, I really cut down. That is a bridal wreath spirea. And this year, I hardly got any blooms on it because I think I trimmed it at the wrong time. So I decided this year, I'm gonna cut it way back, let it recover so that next spring, nobody's touching it until after it flowers. But look at this oak leaf. Oh, and the wind is just gorgeous. I've got to trim up, make that look a little bit more formal. My boxwood, I have been struggling with a few spider mites, but I think I'm winning. So we'll do a walk this way and then I'll turn around and come back. I love this corner. So this is a very pink Sunshine Impatient, loves its life. There's some in a container back there. I've tucked in a fern in a basket, and again, I've got to do some trimming. Things are growing into each other now. I've got to give the plants some space. And look at the coleus. That is just one plant in a planter with a heuchera. That color combination is impactful. I need to use that for an abstract. The dragon-winged begonias were some that I overwintered, and they've done really, really well. And then we've got our Big Daddy Blues. And last year, you can see the 3 small ones. Last year, I divided one of these big ones into that. So they'll catch up in the next year or two. And then this will be a very big, impactful row of Big Daddy Blues. I've added, again, 2 more of the Let's Dance hydrangeas over here, and that should fill that spot. Now, there's not a lot of sun here, and hydrangeas do like more sun than you think. But that means that those will just grow a little bit more slowly, and that'll be okay. And there's the gate and entrance out to our driveway. I don't think I'm going to take you out to the driveway, out to the front today, because that's Abby and Justin's house out there, and with the babies, I don't want to get up in their face or on their porch. So let's turn around at the gate and come on back. There is that awesome Hanacloa. This was originally 3 plants. So if you can imagine that planter box filled like this in the next couple of years, it's going to be just great. Now, here's where I made a mess yesterday, and my husband is so sweet. I was trimming, I cut my finger, I came in, and then he realized we didn't have any bags. He came out, I asked him, please go out and pick up what I've done. And he did, but didn't have any bags. So he went to the store and got some bags. I was very, very thrilled with that. So here's the bed in our secret little garden here. The fern's doing so well back there. This is the serviceberry. Oh, a red bud. That's what it's called. The red bud. This is a Japanese snowball viburnum, I think, or it's a something. And I have to trim it just a little bit, but I did the same thing because it actually has beautiful blooms that in the past haven't really done their best because I trimmed it at the wrong time. So I trimmed it way back in the spring, and I just have to do a little bit, and then I'm hoping to get full blooms. The Brunnera, again, just if I'm paying attention to detail, I get in and cut out the dead leaves. The heuchera is doing great. These grasses are doing wonderfully. This is where the original patch of donkey spurge was. And then it gets a little bit too much water here. So I thought I had taken it out. Apparently I hadn't. So it's grown back, which is just fine. So I just have to get in here and weed a little bit. There's another patch of Joe Pye weed right there. And I trimmed that, and that's very successful. So that would have been about 8 feet tall with blooms on it. And my friend Candy Venny, she said, cut it down to hip height, and then it will spread and it like divide and spread new shoots, and it's great. So this is the tree that I hacked at. It looks horrible. So I have to get in there, but it grows so fast. It's almost like a weed. I'm not sure I want to keep this forever. It's a sambuca, and it does fill and give me height, but I'm not sure. I think I may want to look at a towering, some sort of other towering tree, maybe a black lace elderberry tower. But I'm not sure. So I have to think about that. The oak leaf hydrangeas have gone from white to pink. They're turning pink now. And then, if you know about this, these leaves turn a glorious red in the fall. This is going to be amazing for my garden tour. The phlox are just starting to bloom, and I'm really proud of myself because I put up supports when they started growing, and it really did work. I'm a little sad. Back in there is a climbing hydrangea, and I'm not sure if it's died. So I think there might be life down below, but it's not reaching up. So, and I can't get to it. I can't get to it till spring. So I don't know what to do about that. Again, another dragon leaf, begonia, and serendipity allium. This is my first year trying these, so I'm really excited about that. Another glorious oak leaf hydrangea. And what I had done previously, last year I hardly had any blooms because I cut it at the wrong time. So this year I thought, I'm just gonna let these guys do their thing, and look at that. What a specimen. And here's a big hot mess of a container that I threw seeds in and starts, and a couple of impatiens. I'm not so sure about the color combination, but I do like its energy. This is the nasturtium, which I'm amazed they're doing so well here, because this is a very hot space in the garden in the middle of the day. Another glorious patch of Hanacloa. So think of that. I'm going to pan over here. Imagine when that is big and full of just that chartreuse green. It's going to be such a glorious place for the eye to rest, and maybe even a sculpture in the middle of it. What do you think? This was so successful in the spring. Purple allium grow in the spring, and it was one of my more successful things. My husband put this, we had this old pipe, rusty pipe, and I was like, I want that. I want to put it on the wall. So my husband, he was lovely, and I had these brackets. He put it on the wall, and this is what I've done. I'm planting a rose. Oh, look, a morning glory has mixed in with my rose. I wonder if I will leave that. What would you do? Tell me. Would you take that morning glory out? Do you think it's going to choke the rose? Or should I leave it for my garden tour and then take it out after the garden tour? Because if it gives me some blue flowers in September, or some pink flowers, it looks like they're pink, that might be pretty. Tell me what you do. Give me some advice there. And look, that's 3 plants. 3 of the King Kong coleus. Now there is some, there's a plant in there, but it's been choked out. And the hanging planter is doing great. My birthday bouquet, because it was my birthday, is not doing so great. I put it out here because I'm gonna pick through it and keep some of the things that are doing well and supplement some things from my garden back into that. And we'll finish off with this gorgeous Shasta daisy pot. Isn't it beautiful? So this is an annual. This isn't something that will grow all year. I'm wondering if I take it in, how it will do in the winter. So I'm hoping to take it in before the frost hits. So I hope you enjoyed that July garden tour. And I wanted to just say, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for your support. I do have painting content coming. I know that's why most of you are here, but we're trying to live together an artful life, a life that enjoys many aspects, not just painting. And gardening is a passion of mine, and I absolutely love to do it. And I love to bring you along to show you what is happening in the garden. And it is all about color and form. So check out what's behind me. So we've got purples and chartreuses, yellows and pinks and whites. It's a gorgeous palette, isn't it? All right, I got babies to hold, I got weeds to pick, I got paintings to paint. We'll get back to it. We'll see you in the next video. And I promise, the content coming up is great. And come back.